share some tips on how to get better in your martial arts. And as you can see, my private dojo here at the Hilton Lake Las Vegas, slightly different to my garage where I normally train, but it's always good to tap into a bit of luxury every now and again. And here I'm drilling the things that I want to be great at. So in martial arts, sometimes there's things that are important to you, but also scare you. It might be a pattern or a kata, which is really difficult, so you tend to avoid it and you get scared of it. And if it comes up in a competition, you go, oh my gosh, of all patterns, why you picked that one? Or it might be in sparring, it might be punching, getting punched in the face. You want to get great at sparring, you want to get great at punching, but it scares you. So what's really important to you is to take ownership of those things that scare you and make them excite you. And practice and drill them till they no longer scare you, they actually excite you. For example, today I'm drilling what I call the Everest of all patterns in Taekwondo, which is Moo. Now that normally scares everyone and obviously makes you very nervous if it comes up into a competition because it's a very, very difficult pattern. But on the other hand, it's also a beautiful pattern. It's my favourite pattern. I just love watching it when it's done beautifully, and therefore my challenge myself is I want to be able to do that pattern and be excited about it, not scared from it. So therefore it's really important, there's an old saying, the mother of all skill is repetition. So the more you practice something, the better you become at it. What is hard will soon become easy. And everything that is easy was once hard. So the best way to overcome that is to address it and drill it, not avoid it. So one of the drills I do today, I'll just take you through what I do. And today I did all the black belt patterns. So there is 12 black belt patterns, and one of them is Moo, which is the last one, the more difficult one. So in here, it's about an hour session, and what I do is I do every pattern from the first dan pattern all the way to the fourth dan. There's 3 patterns in each one, so that's 12. But what I do is I do the first pattern, and then after that I do Moo, which is the challenging one, the one I want to get great at. Then I have a rest, have a drink, have a think, gather my thoughts. Then I do the second first dan pattern, then I do Moo again. So basically after every pattern I go up the chain, I do Moo in between. So ultimately at the end, I've actually done 24 patterns. I've done 12 patterns, which are the ones going up to it, and I've done Moo 12 times. So if you do something 12 times, in an entirety, integrated with other patterns, it's not if, it's just when you get really comfortable with it and really become great at it. On another training day, I do all the colour belt patterns, which there's 10. So then I do the first, the yellow stripe pattern, then I do Moo, then I do the yellow belt pattern, then I do Moo. So in that one, I end up doing 20 patterns, 10 of them are Moo, because I want to integrate it in there and I break it up with another belt pattern because that might be drawn in the competition states. But one thing I want to get good at is that particular pattern. So that's where I do the whole pattern. And on the days when I do spar training, for example, sparring doesn't take as long for me. Sparring's normally about 30 minutes, but I do really good quality. It might be longer if I'm working on specific drills or thrills or new techniques. It may be longer, but if I'm just drilling what I've already got, then what I do at the end of that, I'll spend at least the last 15 minutes just doing the difficult components of the Moo. So if there's 3 or 4 things I really want to get good at, like most of the things I'm reasonably good at Moo, but there's those few tricky techniques, balancing and different transitions that I need to drill, I'll spend 15 minutes at the end of every sparring when I'm all warmed up to do those moves. So basically what happens over a period of time, I actually address all of my patterns. My focus is obviously Moo, depending on what yours might be. If you're a second dan, it might be Chuche, which is a very difficult pattern too, but it can be an exciting one if you get great at it. If it's in your first hand, it might be the two side kicks in Kwangai, the low and the high. You may be dodgy in that one, so you want to drill that one. If it's a third pattern, it might be Choi Young, which is the one where you have the difficult kicks and a couple of transitions there, which are quite, can be challenging. But if you drill them, they'll go from challenging to exciting. So pick the things that scare you the most, and if they're important to you, then attack them and put them into your training routine, and not just do them every now and again, integrate them into a sequence, into your training, that you cover that all the time. Then eventually just get better and better and better, and then you actually start enjoying it. You start to enjoy the things you're good at, you don't enjoy the things you're bad at. So to start to enjoy the things you're bad at, just get really good at it. And eventually you get less bad at them and more good at them, and eventually you become great at them. Aim for perfection but never settle for excellence, and they'll keep you moving forward and keep you training with purpose, because you're always trying to find that beautiful pattern. And I've never done it yet. That's what keeps me driving towards patterns. And even sparring, I've never had the perfect bout. I've never done the perfect pattern, but I seek that perfect pattern, and that keeps me going, because to me a pattern in martial arts is like an art. It's an art. In itself, it's very beautiful in how it's done if you do it really well. It can be ugly if you don't do it well, and I don't buy into that. I want to make it beautiful. So drill those things. And I was saying to my wife said the other day, Rory, she said, how's training? I said, well, this is a good thing. Today, on the day I trained, which was just the other day, I said, my worst moo today was my best moo a month ago. So if your worst performance is still better than your opponent's best performance, then you're putting yourself into a category of your own when it comes to competition. But you want to be in a category of your own expectations. And when you took up martial arts, you obviously had a vision of a martial artist and what the iconic black belt should look like, and that's what we seek, is our own vision of what we feel would be the best that we can be and the best that we can produce. So we'll see you in the next TKD Performance Tips. I look forward to seeing you at your best, whether it be in a grading, whether it be on a competition, whether it be in a beautiful luxury chandelier hotel, or whether it be in your garage, or whether it be out in the park. It doesn't matter, because martial arts is in the heart. You can take it everywhere. See you in the next TKD Performance Tips. Ciao.